Hello and welcome to Chapter 92 of the DC Alliance podcast. Clay is not with me this week. He is doing a move, so filling in is my friend from a walk through the multiverse, also on the GUA podcast network, Joe at underscore actually underscore on
There you
Twitter.
go.
Joe, how you doing today?
Tired, but I'm working it. I'm good. I'll survive. I hope. Like I said, we shouldn't take too long, but looking forward to the giant snowstorm coming this week. By Wednesday to Thursday, we're supposed to get anywhere between 10 to 15 inches of snow.
Oh my
So
God. It's like
yeah, it's
rough estimations, that's like 25 to
oh yeah,
40 centimeters of
Give or
snow,
take.
I think, give or take.
Give or take.
That's a rough 2.5 estimate there, but
About
yeah,
5 meters.
Remember the video I sent in the chat, I want to say was maybe a week ago, of the snow I was shoveling and you could see the
Yes.
road? Yeah, well, right now you can see grass and nice, like, chirping
good.
birds, and all the snow is gone. It is crazy. I don't understand it. We've had 2 or 3 really warm days. Very uncharacteristic to be into February with no snow on the ground and
Oh, it's gonna
just
be
not
like
cold.
we're tomorrow. We're supposed to be in the 40s, and it's gonna be raining a little bit, and then the next day it's gonna be back down to like 20 with just snow constantly. So it's,
Yeah, I think you got what we got our rate. Normally, you guys get the weather we get continually moves in towards, and like we got all rain last
Yeah,
week, so
okay.
the weather system.
it took care of the yep.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Sucks, but have your shovels handy, I guess. Snow
Oh yeah,
blowers.
I got
If you're-
snowblower. Actually,
Oh.
funny enough, I've got an electric snowblower, battery operated snowblower, so don't worry about gas.
How is that? How is that? I gotta ask.
I got so funny enough, I bought it last year on the day we had a giant snowstorm. It didn't come in for like a week later. Fine, whatever. Got to use it this year for the first time, like last week. Works pretty damn good. So I'm pretty happy with it. Plus, I got shovels. I've got a couple electric shovels. I'm fine. I'll be okay shoveling and getting the snow gone.
Yeah, I hate shoveling, Joe, not gonna lie, but I love snowblower, but we don't have one here where we're at, but we have a small. I'm actually basically reaping what I sowed for the last couple of years when I lived in an apartment complex where I didn't have to shovel anything, which is strange for living here in this province. So, not minding it, living in a house, so shoveling is something I'll gladly do.
I take care. Yeah, I usually take care of the outside. I'll mow. I shovel. It's since I don't go to the gym as much as I used to. It's my workout.
Yeah.
So
it
it's the physical activity.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Before we get into Peacemaker and James Gunn and Suicide Squad, and essentially this is an entire James Gunn episode, more or less. We also have the release date for the tickets for the Batman, so we'll talk about that as well. But before we get through all that stuff, I obviously have to do the network plugs, have to keep the lights going. So we are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network with 8 shows in total. On Mondays is World's Finest True Believers with Chris Belga. That's where Chris and a guest look at a comic of a guest choice. This week, Katie is on there talking about
War of the
Star
Bounty
Wars
Hunters.
book. Yeah, I know it was Boba Fett book where he's
Yep.
taking back Han Solo and Carbonite. So I'm like 30 minutes into that, so I can't wait to finish that episode. That's a great. And Chris covers all different kinds of comics and has so many different guests on there.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great podcast if you're a comic fan. So check that out. And that rotates bi-weekly with Ranger Alliance with Clay and rotating guest hosts of Jake, Tony, and Joe himself here. That's where they look at everything and anything Power Rangers, from the TV show, the comics, and I hopefully want to listen to a Power Rangers Turbo review.
That's coming up in a couple years.
I'd like to have a cam. I'd like for it to be video. I'd like to be cam on Clay every time we get a close up of Jason David Frank doing Jason David Frank things. Just because. Just because. Actually,
Why
I want
not,
to see
right?
him. I want to see a reaction video of Clay watching that kind of Power Rangers-y knockoff that he's putting out with Diggle in it as well. I would love to see Clay react to that movie in full. Clay, if you watched you watched 4 parts of the Flash crossover,
you want to know something? I still haven't watched the last episode of the Flash crossover.
You guys are smart. Yeah, so that's on Mondays. On Tuesdays is this show, DC Alliance, with myself and Clay. We're gearing up for the Batman. Tomorrow will be February, so we'll be a month away. We'll talk about this a little bit later in the show. On Wednesdays is Superhero Discussions. We are talking about Spectacular Spider-Man right now. I'm pretty sure this week there's a guest that's joining me that may or may not be here right now with me.
This guy?
So Joe joined me to talk about the first appearance of the Green Goblin, so that was fun times.
Episode 7.
And I'm looking to get a Mask of the Phantasm review in before the Batman comes out, so hoping that happens in February. That'll be fun.
Can't get back to you on that one, sorry.
Pattinson did say that he quoted Mask of the Phantasm as a inspiration, so
fun. Okay.
So that's fun news there. On Thursdays is Star Wars Alliance with Katie and Clay. That's where you look at anything and everything Star Wars.
That's Wednesday.
No,
that is Thursday. I'm dumb. Sorry, that's Wednesday night. My bad.
That's okay.
Look, it's been a long day.
I prefer you to keep me on my toes. On Fridays is Marvel Alliance with Chris and Brent. They take a look at anything and everything Marvel. On Saturdays, bi-weekly, is a walk through the multiverse with Joe. That's where Joe takes a look at everything that isn't Star Wars, DC, and Marvel. Joe, what do you have on the docket coming up for the listeners?
Well, so last Saturday I covered Warrior Nun, which is it's not DC, Marvel, or Star Wars. It is comic book based. I can't remember what print company, but it's on Netflix. It was a 10 episode series for the first season. They've got a season 2 coming. I will say the first half I was bored, but the last half I'm like, holy crap, give me more. I really enjoyed it. It was really good to go. As for coming up, I don't know. We'll see.
Walking Dead coming back around anytime soon?
Sometime this month, actually.
Oh,
so
shot in the dark with Walking Dead. So.
I got, I should have 2, maybe 3 episodes of Resident Alien out, so I could of season 2, so I could cover that. I liked that comic series from Dark Horse. So the show, which has Alan Tudyk in it as the main lead, it's a fun show. I really enjoy it. So
that's pretty great, Joe.
Might talk about that one. We'll see.
I'm looking forward to that. Fun show, and like I said, I'm already there in the green room waiting for The Boys season 3 premiere. Season 4 premiere?
Season 3 premiere.
Season 3.
At the same time, may have to pull you into some of my multiverse minutes for the Patreon.
Oh,
about
gladly.
The Boys. Gladly, we will work something out.
Gladly. That's a comic I have not read yet. That is one.
Oh no, it's not the comic. It's the show.
Oh no, but that's a comic in general. Like I perused, but I haven't read.
Well, let me tell you about my other show, Comic Book Rundown, which is coming out currently, and we're talking about The Boys right now.
I know. I have that episode downloaded. There is a Boys review already downloaded in my podcast
app
right now. That's kind of what put that in my mind today, actually, when I was thinking about that.
That's all Boys centric.
Yeah. And on Sundays, but currently on hiatus, bi-weekly is Slice of Film. That's where Katie and a guest take a look at the movie of a guest choice. But you can still check Katie out on Star Wars Alliance with Clay, talking all that Star Wars fun. Also, DC Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Star Wars Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel, 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. And Marvel Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel at 9-10 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. Also, myself and Clay do a Superman and Lois review for Season 2. We will not be doing a Season 2 Episode 3 review because Clay is on the move. But we will get back together next week to talk about Episodes 3 and 4 altogether. Or Episodes 4 and 5, altogether. So, I've been enjoying that show. Clay's a little out with the reveal there of the villain. He's not out, but more so teetering.
What, I'm gonna, because I'll be honest. I've watched the first episode of season 1, maybe episode 2. I like the show. I just haven't. I haven't had a chance to get it. So, who's the reveal?
First of all, I was in that camp too, Joe. I had to catch up for the finale,
Which is fair.
So I had to binge, so I can see your plight there. If you don't care about spoilers,
I'm good. I asked.
They teased Doomsday for a couple episodes.
Well, guess I'm going to have to catch up with that quick.
Myself and Clay did not want that to happen.
No, but look, I like Doomsday.
Because it was early, but I think they're not doing Doomsday. I think they're doing Bizarro, and they kind of teased that it was Doomsday because they showed the suit that he was in.
Okay.
You know, the big
suit. Gotcha.
Yeah. But it wasn't green. It was just looked like it was a metal containment suit, but it kind of was paying homage to the dark side, the Doomsday suit. So I
mean, it's okay. You say early. Now, Superman has been Superman for a while. He's got kids.
Yeah.
So early is relative.
I would just like him to
or subjective, as Ray likes to say,
train his son that has powers a bit more, because ultimately, if he's going to die for a while, I would like to see his son try to step up in the mantle. We get kind of like a Superboy type thing. So
correct. Yeah, that's fair.
I'd like a little bit longer with that. That's all. So I'm really excited and happy that they're not doing Doomsday. Well, maybe they will. I don't know. But because the
season
EP,
2 ending,
the EP did say that this guy was Doomsday. But no, he could have just been throwing people off, because clearly people think, and people have already played back the words he said in reverse, and they mean something. The last word he said is his home. So if you're playing words backwards and they're actually playing actual words, then yeah, chances are he's probably Bizarro. So
also, it sounds like people have too much time on their hands.
Yeah, a little bit. That was within a day of the episode.
But I'd rather have them do it than me, because I'm not gonna put that much time into it, but if you will, I'm totally fine with that. So,
but yeah,
we'll deal with it, Clay.
We'll be back next week to do that. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, a $1 tier and a $5 tier. The $1 tier is basically your tip jar. You like what we're doing, you want to help us out. And the $5 tier is where you get your extras. You get your every episodes, early access to episodes, and Patreon exclusives. There were 3 Patreon exclusives going up before the end of this month. Mm-hmm. I think Snell and Clay got together and did Batman 89 comic review for issues 3 and 4.
Yeah.
The Marvel Alliance boys are getting together now to do Marvel rewatches chronologically throughout the entirety of the MCU. So they watched Captain America's First Avenger and the Peggy Carter short. So they talk about those. And I did my top 5 NES games of all time, Joe.
Very nice.
I'm pretty sure you might know the NES like myself.
A little bit.
It was my system of choice growing up.
Nintendo's always been my go-to.
And the best thing about Nintendo, there was no internet, and everyone had different games, so you could trade games. You never nobody had all the same game collection, and that was.
Everybody had Mario. That was just a given.
The Super Mario Duck Hunt, and usually Super Mario 3 was a pretty big staple eventually.
Yeah, not a lot of people like Super Mario 2. Don't know why. It was a dumb game. What?
Doki Doki Panic. Anyway, that we thank anyone that's a patron. That's greatly appreciated, and we're putting out more content. I have a very, very, very fun recording that I'm doing on Wednesday. I will not say anything else. It is general audience based. I will be interviewing a general audience person.
Not gonna say anything else, huh?
About something. That's all. About something. That's the only thing. Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you. I almost went the whole. I couldn't help myself. I'm the kind of person that if I got a present, here, do you want a present now?
Which is fair. Which is totally fair. Totally fair. No, I'm right there with you with my Patreon. I'm going to be doing currently what I'm calling Multiverse Minutes, where as of right now, I'm covering The Boys weekly. Going to be doing episode by episode leading up until season 3 in June. So every Friday I'm going to put out an episode out about 20 minutes long, give or take. After that, I'll just start picking other shows. I don't know if I'll do weekly, but I got like Umbrella Academy. I could go back and do Resident Alien season 1. There's so many other shows. I could even do movies and maybe make those a little bit longer. But that's my plan. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do it every week, but as of right now, I am for the next 3 months.
Yeah. We're putting a lot more Patreon content on.
Yes, we are.
I'm, like I said, the top 5s, they'll be coming probably weekly.
Are you going to try and get, is it just going to be you on there? You're going to try and get some people from network, people from...
It depends. My Wednesdays are very wide open school-wise. I think I have I had one class 9:30 to 11:30, and then I had the rest of the day off.
Oh, nice.
So essentially, I pound out a recording or two on Wednesdays.
Have to keep that in mind. Okay.
I did that last week, doing review of 106 of Spectacular Spider-Man and doing the top 5 Patreon content.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and do one at least every Wednesday to put up. So that'll be something extra for you patrons, and we thank you for supporting us. But without further ado, Joe, let's get into some of the show. But before we get into the Peacemaker main topic, of course, we've had a little bit of James Gunn news coming out this week. More importantly, there's going to be a season 2 of Peacemaker, it looks like. James Gunn says, essentially, we just need to cross some T's and dot some I's, which is basically me. So he was talking to Deadline about this. Are you excited for season 2, Joe?
So let's see where season 1 ends, because I was going into the mindset of this is just going to be a one-off season. If it ends to the point of, yes, we can continue on, great. If not, if they actually are able to wrap it up, okay, even better. Like, maybe then the next season is going to be its own thing, and maybe that's what the show's going to be. It's each season is its own thing, and it's not connected outside of characters. But I don't know. We'll see. Like, as of right now, yay, that sounds awesome because I'm loving the show. But let's see how the season ends first before we get all gung ho. You know?
Yeah, I'm right there with you because you think you'd wait for them to stick the landing. Obviously,
Correct.
This is a big popular show, and like it's #1 in IMDb.
Sure, but here's the thing: like saying that you're gonna get more seasons mid the first season is one thing. Like if you're right, if it was after the season ended and they're like, hey, look at Loki, for example. We thought it was just gonna be the one-off. The end of season 1, they teased we're getting a season 2. They said that.
Yeah.
Invincible, same thing. By the day the last season or the episode dropped, then we got more. They got announced seasons 2 and 3. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying you can't show it at the beginning, like or midway through. That's great. It means you're right. It means the show's going well and that everybody's liking it. The ratings are there. But now I know that there's going to be a second season. So the end fight, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna go into the season finale as like, oh well we know we're getting more people coming, or we know we're getting more seasons coming. So Peacemaker's gonna live, Vigilante will probably live. Everybody else, who knows?
Yeah, I will agree with you there, Joe. Darius he said he has plans for multiple seasons,
Which is cool.
Yeah, Darius, that's excites me.
Yeah.
I just didn't want it to be revealed yet. That's all. I wish he kept
Give
that
time.
stuff close to the vest because, like Joe says, there's a perfect mention there, Joe, of Loki. Because I was expecting Loki to be killed multiple times throughout that entirety of the show.
Not even killed, just like, hey, they're gonna wrap up their story.
Well,
you know?
They literally made people disintegrate, so I assumed that he wasn't going to make it throughout the entirety of the show.
That's fair.
And if I knew that it was season 2, I would not have been thinking that at all. No, his death would have definitely got me even more than.
Yeah,
but
right.
Here, I wish he would have held it. I'm excited because I'm surprisingly loving everything I've seen so far. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I was
It's
not
gonna be great,
excited
but
for this show, and now I can't wait every week. For
I
it.
feel like it's definitely a surprise hit, right?
Yeah,
Like, people were like, yeah, it's a show, we'll watch it, whatever, no big deal. And it's become like my girlfriend. She was the same way of, well, I'll watch it. There's nothing else really on, and I'm really hating the fact that Peacemaker's alive and Rick Flag isn't. But then every single episode, she's like, this show is awesome. It's really, really good, and I really want more. Like, I want more Peacemaker. So, it's doing something right.
It's because they actually are taking the Rick Flag death that everyone got mad about and actually giving it context, giving it like meaning, giving it weight, giving it this dude feels terrible about it.
Yep, he is showing the ramifications of what he did, and he's having to live with that.
And S-Bub says, I showed my friend the first 5 minutes of Peacemaker, and he wanted to watch the whole thing.
Nice.
Same thing. S-Bub with my friend messaged me and asked me, was Peacemaker worth getting into? That was Saturday at 6:30. Saturday at 11 p.m. I got a message saying I have watched all the episodes. This is fantastic. So I'm enjoying it. It was, like I said, I didn't have any expectations. And Darius also says, after this episode, I think we should be on the lookout for Vigilante becoming an enemy, just like in the comics. He becomes basically Peacemaker's Joker, and it would be awesome.
It's not a bad idea.
Especially where Darius, he knows everything about him as well. I gotta say, Joe, this does excite me though. I'm wondering where this thing could go, and
I'm happy for it, but I wish they would have held off for right now. So
and the combination with that, Joe, James Gunn also in that interview as well said that he's been working on and essentially got the green light for is going to happen. Another spin-off for a Suicide Squad character is likely. He said he can't quite say who it is right now, but we're working on something else, another TV show that's connected to that universe, is what he said.
Weasel. So, no, I'm just kidding.
That would be the easiest one for him, considering his brother is the one that is Weasel. But who do you think this could be, Joe?
Honestly, I could kind of see it being Ratcatcher. That's a character who we got a decent amount of backstory in the Suicide Squad. So now we can see her kind of just living free. She can cross paths with Bloodshot. Yeah, Bloodshot. I was going to confuse it with Deadshot.
Bloodsport?
See, Look, I already confused it with Deadshot.
The only reason I know that 100% now is the first time I looked up the character, everything was about the movie Bloodsport, so that has ingrained in my brain.
Good.
It's the combination of the two.
So yeah, I guess
fantastic old movie.
Nice. So I can see, Idris Elba's Bloodsport coming in, at least for one episode, or just a quick cameo, kind of like how Viola Davis Waller was in Peacemaker. But that'd be my guess, because they're going to save Harley for the movies. I mean, Idris Elba, I'm not saying, because he did Luther for years, I'm not saying he can't do a TV show, but because he's becoming a bigger actor, I don't think he'll do a TV show at this point in time in his life right now. Other than that, I mean, I'm not saying King Shark can't do it, but I don't think he can hold a show on his own.
I'd love to see the King Shark show.
It'd be awesome.
I'm here for it, but
It'd be
CGI
awesome.
alone, I don't think we're getting that to fly. I'm also in the cap. I think it's Ratcatcher too. But I will say that it could easily be Bloodsport, because we're hearing a lot of rumors that Harcourt is going to show up in Black Adam. And if these TV shows are connected to the movies, like the Disney Plus movies and Disney Plus TV shows are connected to the MCU, I could see more actors being ready to jump on board to go back and forth like that, because you do get to see it with the MCU.
Yeah.
So,
and plus, it being on HBO, that sets a different precedent than if it was on, cable TV. So
CW. Yeah.
That's why I just said I'm couching it with cable TV.
But yeah, I gotta say, I think the same thing. Ratcatcher too. I would love for a King Shark show
or Bloodsport. Yep.
Or Bloodsport, but we just got Peacemaker, so I don't see them going so action heavy. I think he said as much, but he also said it wasn't going to be as comedic as Peacemaker. So I don't know.
You can do Ratcatcher with a lot of drama.
Yeah, you could, I guess. I feel like there's a lot of heart. Yeah, you could get by with a lot of heart. Yeah. So I guess that's both of our suggestions / votes for what the Suicide Squad member will be. S-Bub said, have the Eagly CGI team do the rats and we're good. Yeah, Eagly is the standout for me CGI-wise.
Yes, Eagly is amazing.
I love him. Although
the gorilla we got in this episode looked pretty darn good too.
And that's a perfect tease and segue into our episode review. But before we do that, listeners, we're going to take a quick ad break. We don't pick the ads or the volume. I'm going to give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe. Peacemaker, episode 5, Monkey Dory. What are your non-spoiler thoughts on this episode?
Let's see if I can do non-spoilery thoughts. I laughed so hard at a certain scene. And I watched this at work, okay?
Yeah.
And I am doubled over laughing. I didn't stop the line because I work an assembly line. Did not stop the line, but I came really close. But no, this was a good episode. We learned a lot about all the characters, and we're starting to see growth with the characters and the team. And we're going to talk about it in the notes here, but the team is starting to come together and actually be a team. And there's talked about heart earlier. We're starting to see the heart of everybody come together and actually want to work with each other.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. I'm going to try and do my best. Nah, spoiler, and
Yeah.
I'm not very good at all. You just saved me a little while ago from revealing the Patreon thing. So this is going to be difficult, Joe. This is going to be very difficult. But like you said, I laughed a lot. I don't think there was a joke that didn't hit for me this episode. Usually there is one that doesn't hit, but nope, this episode was pretty solid. I'm enjoying the vigilante. I think Darius made a good point there about possibly a switch in allegiances, maybe. Not even a switch in allegiances, more so as
he's just kind of fed up with Peacemaker. He saw Peacemaker as this, in his eyes, a hero and somebody he can idolize,
look up
and
to,
become and look up to. And you could definitely see him start to switch. Peacemaker himself, these last couple episodes, he's starting to turn more of a, well, I can't really be this anymore because nobody likes me, and he wants to be part of the team. He wants to be liked by everybody there. So yeah, I do like Darius' thought of Vigilante maybe switching up because he doesn't give a crap,
Yeah, he's and what you had a great point there, Joe, of maybe Peacemaker potentially changing who he is a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Vigilante likes Peacemaker for Peacemaker,
yep.
or who Peacemaker was, not who Peacemaker is going to become. And Vigilante is a psychopath killer, so who knows where that'll shake out. That is the great point here. Teamwork was essentially this entire episode. I love it. Love the whole atmosphere. Love the group name. We'll get into all that, Joe. But I can't talk non-spoilers any longer. I'm gonna have to.
Here we go.
When we do movie reviews, I'm gonna say non-spoiler talk. I'm just gonna say I loved it, and then.
Well, that's usually what it is. Like you can't go too deep into it because the moment you say, like I said about a gorilla, well, look, there's a gorilla in the scene. Although it is called Monkey Dory, so let's come on.
I didn't even see that coming when I read the episode title as I was starting to watch the episode. Never
when they talked about the monkey, we immediately saw the monkey in the PowerPoint, which. I mean, let's go ahead and get into it. Why don't we get into it?
Let's get perfectly right into it, which is
PowerPoint.
That opening PowerPoint, Joe. I think Peacemaker's being very harsh on the quality of that PowerPoint. I think that was very well done by economists. What do you think about it?
Since I don't really know how to use PowerPoint really well, that worked out fine. I thought he did a good job. It's
graphics in there.
mean,
there were butterflies going out the orifices of people, but there was graphics in there.
Yep, there was. Then when the graphic of the explosion with the card flying out, and then that's when Peacemaker just starts busting out laughing like, "Economists, you suck at PowerPoint.
This is terrible." He said, "I don't care, you do it." And he's like, "I don't know, I didn't even care about it." And Peacemaker's like, "You clearly did care about it. You put so much effort into this." And ultimately, that just spins back to the real reason they're having issues, which is economists putting Peacemaker's father in prison. And I just love the riddling off of every name in the book. Oh, this normally goes on too long sometimes for me, but not here. This was and the end
credit scene. Yeah, it had another like a minute. Oh man.
Yeah, dive here.
Yes.
That's a good point. Yes, Bubs.
Yes, Diver. Yeah, Bubs is right. No, just him naming off he names off Optimus Prime and Starscream, just like the red thing for Voltron. I'm like, oh, okay, now you're literally just saying whatever.
those Riverdale.
I had to laugh when he said Will Ferrell because they both were in Daddy's home. So
yeah,
he's working with Will Ferrell.
He says James Gunn, Freddie Stroma, who are Vigilante and the director, which is, and nice. I'm pretty sure Vigilante says, "Who are those other two? Who are those last two people? They're not real." So just some great little humor there, and I just love the back and forth. Peacemaker clearly isn't happy, but calls him Diebeard over and over. But I do love how Abadiah is there, essentially giving him advice, being an emotional god for him, I guess, more or less,
Yeah.
telling him not to be a dick. And it comes back full circle by the end of this. But what do you think about her and Peacemaker's relationship, kind of blossoming a little bit more throughout this episode?
She is definitely one that he is. I'm not saying he's like taking her under his wing eagerly, but he definitely saw her as like the new kid. He can't really do anything with Harcourt or Economist because he knows them from from Suicide Squad, from Belle Reve. He knows that they are. I'm not gonna say hardened, but he sees. I can never know how to pronounce the name. Abadayo.
Yeah. You can call her Wilder's daughter too. That
There
would
we
be a
go.
little easier for you
Or
to remember.
there we go. And I think he really wants to help her, but he has a weird way of doing it. He has a weird way of showing affection. Because like Vigilante comes up, he's like, oh yeah, like he just calls everybody by weird names, by the names of the way their dicks look. It's like, okay, that's bullying. No, that's not bullying. I got bullied. I'm just doing it back to them. It's just how it is. No, that's bullying, dude. So she seems more like his Jiminy Cricket. She's kind of his conscious of like he knows he's doing wrong, and he knows that people don't like him, and this is her telling, look, you're being a dick. People don't like you. Stop it.
Yeah, and that's what I love about her here. She's essentially telling him, like, you're not getting bothered. No one liked you, but I know there's a good person there inside.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, you might be able to call Abadayo by another name probably by the end of this season, if I'm going to guess. Because I think, personally, that this whole group is turning into Checkmate.
Which is very interesting.
I think she's going to run it, and she's already becoming horrified about what she's turning into. She kind of mentioned that as much to her significant other, Anna Call. She says, like, this job is killing
It's getting
me.
to her, yeah.
It's getting to her, something like that. So I really think that by the end of this, and that's how you're going to branch off into that second season, they're going to try and locate the remaining Task Force X people that bolted after the events of the Suicide Squad. So that's probably the way you can bring Ratcatcher 2 in there. And
It's definitely an interesting idea. I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, if they could do Checkmate well, I know.
Well, the first thing I think about with Checkmate is that it's a division of Task Force X as a covert, like, division of it. So that's kind of what we're getting here a little bit. So that's why I'm drawing the parallel. So
I mean, it's more spy-y than it is, like Task Force X is more brute force, and then Checkmate's more spy-y.
yeah, but maybe we'll get that.
Which, I mean, it
by
could work
the end,
if
when
it's done
Smyrn is out of the
right.
way and she takes over. It could be done right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just my guess anyway on that.
It's not a terrible guess.
So, going into this, they go to the bottling plant. We get the best action scene of the season so far.
This is where I was doubled over laughing. The minute that they walk in, he's like X-ray specs on his helmet, and Abdayo just goes up to the counter. Is like, hey, can I? She's like, can you help me? And the lady's like, yes, just one moment, and then boom. Just like what I just
loved it,
great.
Loved it. Like you said, just took me right out of nowhere. I was not expecting that, and I just loved. This is my favorite helmet so far. I love the Sonic Blast too. It was very like they're using them in the right spots. But this one here played a couple roles throughout this episode.
Yes,
and it was so good, Joe. It was great how he just. Like he would see them coming through the door and shoot it. It was just perfect. And
she was just like, why didn't you give me a warning? I did. I blew her head off. It's like,
yeah, and the same thing with he creates the Russian tank missile and the grenade and throws it. I love how after they jump and she looks at him like a little bit of heads up, and he looks at her like, I gotta tell you to like run from a bomb. Like what?
Yeah, what were you thinking? Like, come on.
I just love the team. I love two of them teaming up, and also when he was killing them and she was running over and shooting them after they were dead. You don't have to shoot them after I killed them. So
See, the funny thing is though, she kind of should, only because what it comes out of their heads, a butterfly. So she
not all the time, which
is
appreciate
weird.
too.
I was wondering about that.
I think that's just the closeness of the shotgun. Like if he's closer, it's gonna sprint. Like it's gonna kill the butterfly in the head. Whereas if it's not so close, they'll beat their head off and then they'll try to get away. Because this one's dead, we'll just go on to the next one.
Interesting. Didn't think about that part. Okay.
Okay,
I was wondering that.
That's how I headcanon it anyway, because I did think about that too. So that's the way I was looking at it. But we get a fantastic action scene here. While they're doing that, Vigilante and Harcourt are also going in, and they don't have a badass Peacemaker with an X-ray helmet. So they kind of get sent right into a corner.
Yep.
And we don't really see them get taken out, but
they get ambushed. We
see the force from them getting taken out, not what takes them out. So we don't know, because it said in the presentation that they make humans 4 to 5 times stronger, but also in that presentation they talked about animals as well, which should have been the hint. Multiple hints James Gunn has given us throughout this season that this was going to happen. It's Charlie, the gorilla.
Yep.
You think for a second when you saw the gorilla that it could have been Grodd?
I didn't think it was Grodd right away. I think I did think at one point it might have been, but I think I immediately went to just another gorilla from Gorilla City.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name from Doom Patrol, because that's where I went first.
Monsieur Mala?
I think so. Yeah, Mala.
Yeah.
He had that.
I didn't go there either, only because we got him in Titans, and I know everything is separate. Not Titans. Doom Patrol. Yeah, you're right. Duh. Yeah. I know everything is separate, so they're not going to cross over too much. But I also didn't think. I was kind of glad when he did talk that it wasn't a French accent, so it wasn't Mala.
Yeah, that's kind of odd when I heard that.
But that right there is where I thought Grodd immediately, and then went to just the gorilla in Gorilla City.
Yeah,
and then he died. But you brought up
It was in news bulletin. I think it was in the first episode. It may have been on the TV. I think it was in the newspaper as well that maybe the guard was reading before Vigilante got himself arrested. That the gorilla broke out of the zoo.
Okay.
And Gorilla's name was Charlie, and then that guy, after Peacemaker comes up on that guy, he says, "Our savior Charlie will protect us."
Yeah. So I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
You pointed it out, and
that's not a blatant, obvious breadcrumb. Like, that's not a zoom in on the camera for 5 to 10 seconds, and then we zoom away to the end of the episode kind of deal. That was more so. I thought that was teased for a potential Grodd in the future. I didn't think we'd get some random gorilla showing up being controlled by a butterfly. So I gotta say, I really like that.
Yeah.
And he really beats the crap out of them all.
Yeah, he does.
And what a very unlikely hero comes in, Economos, and chainsaws him in half, which is funny because Vigilante complained about not being able to take the chainsaw in. He wanted the chainsaw to kill somebody.
After he, Economos does that, and Vigilante and Peacemaker are walking out. I was like, oh yeah, it was a really cool fight. But wouldn't it be cooler if he would be like, hey kid, they threw me the chainsaw so I could have killed him. It's like, my dude, just take the win.
Boy, he's like, didn't you think like Economos was kind of like screwing with me a little bit?
Yeah,
there,
like he purposely did it, because I said something about the chainsaw like not even 15 minutes ago. Like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, and he calls him Thimble for his nickname for his penis.
Yep.
Which, that like you said earlier, I think Vigilante is getting the hints that Peacemaker does not care about him from, I think it's been starting ever since the pinky toe incident in the car. I think ever since then, although I say that, and then he goes to try and kill his father in between those 2 events. So,
but that was on... I don't think Peacemaker knows that either.
No,
that was because of Abadayo, like poking and prodding him.
But she did say like she manipulated him to do something good for his friend. So it wasn't like she said but he'd fondly be happy if he wasn't around.
See, I don't think he would be. I also don't think he would.
I know. Yes, I think Vigilante thinks that.
But then Peacemaker would be pissed off at Vigilante, making that wedge even deeper.
Yeah, I think that is a complete like circle. Like you said, she tagged him right into a pretzel there, and I love that because that just reminds me of Amanda Waller. So yeah, he's destroyed. They get away, and we get some very fun team bonding, like we mentioned before. We have a great picture there. They're rocking out to Hanoi Crush, I think the name of the band is.
I believe so, something like that.
Hanoi something. Apologies if you're a fan of that band, but they do rock. I love to say every single song in this whole show I'm digging. And Joe did say something before about Spotify.
Honori Rocks, not Honori Crush. Sorry.
Yeah.
My girlfriend had mentioned that she thinks that James Gunn has like basically the keys to Spotify, so that like within 24 hours after the episode releases, he drops whatever music was on the episode onto the Spotify Peacemaker playlist. Could be completely wrong. She may have seen it on TikTok, and we know how notorious TikToks are at being correct. So I don't know. But if that's the case, my dude, he is rocking it. He is doing an amazing job.
Yeah, badassly.
It's almost a guarantee that these production companies are like, you want music? All right, here's a blank check. Get whatever music you want because it's all great.
Well, that's one thing I do love too. Some directors are score, some directors are soundtrack, and this guy, James Gunn, is soundtrack man, and he nails it every time. Every selection, I could listen to the Guardians Volume 1 soundtrack on repeat for days and not get sick of it. So I'm all here for it, and I'm going to definitely check out. They're definitely going to put some sort of CD together or playlist together for season 1 entirely, so I'm definitely going to check that out. Like I said, the team bonding, we get a group chat created by Harry. Were you surprised at who created the group chat?
A little, because at the very end of the battle, like they're all rocking out to 11th Street Kids, and you get Hardcore in the back, just kind of like, all right, you know what, this is fine. And she takes a picture, and then creates a group chat. This is what I was saying earlier, how the team is finally starting to come together, and everybody's finally starting to work together and actually care for each other.
I'm not shocked that you know this, S-Bubs.
Thank you, S-Bubs. So she was right.
Yes, the Spotify Peacemaker playlist is on James Gunn's profile, so I think he just adds them himself.
Which would make sense if he's adding them 24 hours later.
Yeah, that's kind of right out of money there.
That's awesome.
So, Joe, like I said before, the 11th Street Kid, I love that Hardcore is doing this because she'd be the last one, and is a great contrast to where she was at the start of this show.
Yeah.
In the bar. And she's been in the bar twice before this, and not a happy camper, not enjoying herself at all. Here, she has a smile on her face. She's thinking about stuff that she did, and she's actually like, "My God, like I had a good time."
I'm starting to consider these guys friends. Yeah,
she has to consider her kind of most of friends. Like she's been around with him she
okay,
doesn't, but
they're
should.
work friends.
Sorry.
Like,
she should.
I literally had this conversation with Clay not too long ago. You got work friends that you work with, and then you have your friends that you hang out with outside of work. So far, they've all been work friends. Now they're starting to become friends.
Well, that like you said, it's starting to become because Abigail goes into Peacemaker's apartment to have a drink to celebrate. Yep. I love how she thinks that he's going to hit on her and try to have sex with her, and he's like, "Dude, I think the gorilla broke my dick." I just love that line. And they go in and have a like kind of like a good bonding moment. We get an aviation gin sighting there that was pointed out by Van City Reynolds and James Gunn. So,
very nice.
What did you think about this scene, Joe? About them?
It was a fun scene. A fun scene of them just kind of bonding, similar to what we were saying earlier. How he definitely sees her as the one in the group that I'm not saying trying to protect, but he is trying to basically get that foothold with the rest of the group. Yes, she's the newest one, but whatever Abigail is doing is able to kind of burst down the walls of everybody to get everybody to come together. And he may recognize that. He may not.
Has said that he only trusts her initially when she. Because she didn't seem like a spy more than he had a bond with her.
Correct. He didn't. He didn't have to like. He did. What's the right terminology? He didn't have to pussyfoot around her.
No, not at all.
Like with Economos, he's a dick. He screwed over his dad, but he has been part of this game for so long. With Harcourt, first time he tries hitting her at the bar, she destroys this guy who's whatever to her.
We'll call them dickheads, Joe. We'll call them
dickheads. Definitely dickheads.
You can call them. You can call them. The same people that I saw protesting in Ottawa this past weekend, but we go.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Anyway, but yeah, so he's seeing these two who he can't really. He's got no grounds of no level playing field with them. But then he's got Abadayo, who is the new girl who's trying to fit in, and so he sees something in her there. With this episode, obviously, and then we got Vigilante, but Vigilante is just a puppy dog for Peacemaker anyway. Yeah. But like in this episode alone, he stopped calling Economos Diebeard.
Yeah.
The minute that he found out that he liked Honey Rocks.
Well, yeah. Well, not even the whole 80s glam rock metal band.
Well, yes.
When he had the same taste in music.
Yeah.
That
he's
was
like,
it.
And then obviously him killing the gorilla kind of helped. Like, man, you're a fucking badass. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, that was a great moment when he's like, yeah, I am. And then he's rocking it on the way back.
So like he's starting to find things with everybody on the team.
Like she said in the initial episode. Like she said at the start of the episode to him, that just don't be a dick, find stuff you have in common with people. Clay says, I think Waller and Harcourt know about Myrn, and Harcourt will save Abadayo next episode.
I don't think so.
I don't think so as well. I think that
Waller might. I don't think Harcourt does.
Yeah, I think this is a classic good butterfly versus bad. We'll hold it. We're almost there.
We're literally like two notes away.
One question. I have one question to ask you before that, Joe.
Okay.
Because Abadayo ultimately takes the journal, or diary, journal, whatever we're calling it, and puts it in Chris's room. This is Chris's own journal, right? Diary.
Is it? I know it says. I don't know. Why did Waller have it, and why did Waller give it to her sister?
To learn about him
daughter,
in beginning, like when they caught him and he was going to be part of Task Force X. That's the only part of Suicide Squad. That's the only reason I can think of her taking it, and then maybe they're putting it back so he doesn't know.
But see, it definitely seemed like a plant. Like it was just like it was evidence that was there to frame him for something later.
I feel like it was more to cause an emotional response when he reads something out of it that either he has blocked out or that
with his brother.
Oh,
I didn't think about that. And that's a good, because his brother the death of his brother has been weighing on him. We saw in the last episode, especially, and just the way his dad is. Okay.
And I think that combines to make another reason why he's so comfortable with Abadayo is I don't think he thinks she knows what's in his file, because he asks Harcourt about that.
But Harcourt says they all do. They've all read the file.
Yeah, but they all have. But I don't. Like you just said a little while ago, she's the new person.
Yeah.
She's just coming in, so maybe she hasn't read it. Maybe that's something that's not.
I mean, she was specifically put there by Waller.
And she's shooting people that are already dead. Like, he's gone on this mission with her, and she's...
I mean, she shot, what's his name, Judo Master.
But, it was her first, she was shooken off about it, so you're not thinking, like, this is some covert spy
So
here.
it's a step up that she's now shooting dead people, so it works, it's fine.
That's true, Joe. And now she's planting diaries of people. That's what I mean. Like,
that's how you go. You
shoot
shoot one person first, then the next step is shoot dead people, and the final step is to, blackmail your best friend. It's fine.
Plant evidence. That's the one thing I want to know about the diary. Has he seen this before, or is this some sort of trick? Does he have, like you said, does he have things blocked out so that if they write this, maybe it doesn't even happen as an account that they say? Maybe it's completely opposite of that.
Maybe. And the way because we only got 8 episodes total, or is it 7 for this season?
We have 8 episodes in total, I think, for this.
Okay, so we got 3 episodes left. and they are moving. I'm not saying they're moving slow, but I definitely can see the next episode him finding that notebook or finding
Oh,
that journal.
100%.
Because
Yeah, 8 episodes.
because otherwise, like, it's definitely gonna be in the, like, it's not episode 6. It'll definitely be in episode 7. But I don't know.
The next episode is titled Mern After the Reading, and I guess that'll bring us into the final point of this episode, which is Abigail can't sleep because I think she's turning into her mother, and she's terrified of
She's
that.
she's definitely afraid of that.
And she goes back to the headquarters to, I don't know, just try to unwind. And Mern is there doing some work, and she puts on the Peacemaker helmet that has the X-ray vision. She's just looking around like, oh my god, this is so cool. She turns and looks and sees that Mern is a butterfly. Joe, what do you think about this reveal?
I was surprised that he ran after her. I figured, because the way Mern has been these episodes, and once we found out who's a butterfly, talking to that sheriff, we totally overlooked that when they basically completely blackmailed the dad.
Yeah, he makes sure he stayed in jail. We'll
Even
call
though
him White Dragon, but that was.
Thank you, the White Dragon. I was gonna say Smith, but that, I guess it's
Something
whatever
Smith.
Smith.
But the other guy's Christopher Smith. So.
Yeah, we totally overlooked that, and how the cops now know that he is innocent, but he's still in jail. So the one knows that something's going on.
And she got stomped out because of it, and have a new police chief, essentially, who is the person that you said that was talking to Mern.
Yeah. So having Mern run, like, shrieking like the other ones were at the bottle plant surprised me. And then, attacking Abigail, and that's where it ends. It ends with him on top of her, getting ready to, like, attack her.
I don't know if he's really getting ready to attack her.
He screeched and ran after her.
Yeah,
like,
but
I assumed he could have, like, hey, wait, hold on, like, actually talk it out, like, instead of attacking. But
that could be why he didn't. Maybe he didn't. I don't think he attacked her because she whips out the gun to shoot him. So I essentially think he self-defensed himself to.
Did she pull out the gun? I thought he just, as soon as.
No, she pulls out the gun because after she gets hit, you can see the gun go across.
Okay.
On the pavement, and it's there, like, out of her reach.
Okay.
And she can see the gun first, and then she looks up and sees him and passes out, kind of deal. I think that he's a good butterfly, and he's just running to make sure she doesn't run away, so that he can explain to her what's on the go, so that she doesn't go and cause mass panic throughout the whole.
I mean, I don't think he's a bad butterfly, but he's definitely. It definitely seemed off when he screeched and ran after her.
That could just be.
I may not have seen the gun. Again, I watched this at work, so.
Yeah, there was a gun.
I missed something. Okay.
So, but yeah, it's still. I love that. I love the reveal. I love the tying the X-ray helmet back in, because if you just showed me it for him using it to defeat the butterfly, that would have been fine for me. But then you bring that back around for the big reveal, and like I said, I think he's a good butterfly that is trying to make sure this invasion doesn't happen, and he took over this really, really bad dude, like really bad guy.
Mern was from all accounts that we've already know, he was a grade A asshole.
Yeah,
so.
and like kill kind of, like, so high.
Yeah.
So I can see Waller just essentially using him like this and allowing the butterfly to take over.
Yeah, which is why I think Waller knows, but Harcourt doesn't. I don't think she actually knows.
Agreed.
But I could be wrong.
So I love that. I love that crazy ending, and like I said, where do you think they go from here, Joe?
Tough call, honestly. We're gonna pick up probably immediately with I got it from Loot Crate, my dude. So
Loot
no,
Crate.
too bad. Long time ago. Did I get it from Loot Crate? No, actually, I bought this at a convention.
Oh,
never mind.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Might be a chance. No, so I think we'll pick up right where we left off with Abigail and Mern, maybe explaining what's going on. And I could see, if it is him explaining, she will keep it a secret. I can see her keeping it a secret. Obviously, we're going to get Peacemaker finding the diary and reliving some more trauma. We could probably see some more Vigilante Peacemaker divergence. Other than that, I don't know. We got the detectives going to the judge. So
To get a
get
search warrant
yeah,
for Peacemaker's
so-
house, which he's not. Peacemaker's trailer that he's not even at. So
yeah, so I mean, there's a few different
well, he
storylines.
is at. So he stays at that trailer.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So I'm really interested to see how deep this goes, and the whole. We're definitely getting Murn's story, like how Butterfly came to inhabit him and all that fun jazz. And
Oh, I know what they can do. We can get a whole episode that's not about Peacemaker.
yeah, that's probably what we're
Maybe
gonna get.
maybe it'll be about Titans.
Oh my God, let's not talk about that. So Joe,
I'm making a Star Wars joke. Anyway, go ahead.
It sounds like you're enjoying this show as much as I am.
It's a wonderful show. Yes, it's great.
We're excited for season 2, and that is it for our review. We're going to take our final ad break before we discuss our little small topic before we end the night. Listeners, we're an ad-supported network. We don't pick the ads or the volume. I'm going to give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe, just had a little tiny topic here to end the show. The Batman tickets are going on sale. Finally announced, February 10th.
That's next week.
Are you excited, Joe?
I am. Now, my problem is, do I buy tickets for the regular showing? Or do I rent out a theater just for myself? I don't know.
That is a interesting.
It's a conundrum, really.
It's an interesting conundrum. One I wish I had at the moment. One I wish.
Which
I
is
had
fair. Which is fair. No, I don't know. Like I'm gonna get tickets. I might just check to see. But I mean, I did go into Spider-Man twice with a full packed IMAX theater. I could probably stand to just go see the Batman, no problem. But I also don't get interrupted by people. I don't really like people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm right there with you, Joe, in terms of people. I know, unfortunately, listeners, if you've been listening to us weekly, then you know that I'm on pins and needles because everything everything is still closed.
I was about to ask. Yeah.
But there are indications that there was light at the end of the tunnel. There's going to be an update. I want to say
Was that today, wasn't it?
we have a modified level at the moment. There is like libraries opening, more schools are opening. I know my college's library and in-person visiting, all that stuff is back up and running. So I'm assuming we'll get a update on the new alert level the 3rd of February, I think. So
Okay.
we
So
will
at the end of the
know-
week, by the end of the
yeah.
week.
So what I'm assuming is going to happen, Joe, is what happened before No Way Home, which is limited capacity seating. Social distancing measures are going to be in effect,
Which is even better.
Well, I'm loving it. Not better for the Batman's bottom line here,
No.
anyway. But
But for viewing.
I was uncomfortable for the first 5 to 10 minutes of Spider-Man No Way Home. With
Yeah,
the
we
amount of
talked
people
about
in
that.
theater.
How people
And
just
no one was wearing masks. So I am not gonna lie. Back when it was restrictive, when it was social distancing measures, I loved it. I didn't have anyone to 5 or 6 seats to the right or left of me, and these showings were still technically sold out. So personally, I love it.
It was
but
nice.
to help the movie. It will be better if it was like
Yeah.
full bore, but I will be getting my tickets regardless. I called the theater, left a message. They have not gotten back to me about any chance they know if this is going to be changing or anything like that. They have no idea. The only thing they know is that gas is $1.62 a liter, which is absurd.
I was about to say 162. Like, damn, that's
just as well. $1.62 for 1 liter. There's 4 liters in a gallon. Just for my American listeners' reference, there, you'll know how many. $5 for a gallon. So over $6-7 per gallon. So yeah, they know that, but they don't know if they're getting the movie open. So I need to see this movie. I don't want to see it on an iPhone. I don't want to see it like on a cam. I will need to see it. So
yes.
Just cross your fingers, listeners. Whenever you see the Batman, it says tickets go on sale. Cross your fingers for me just for a second.
I hope you can.
Because I need to get those tickets so bad. But Joe, I'm excited too. Like I said before, thank you for joining me tonight. It was so much fun.
I'm trying to
Hell,
do like I said, I'm trying to do a Gennaro takeover this week for Clay. So
Well, you have the keys to any of my shows, especially because you're going to give me an avenue and platform to talk about one of my most underrated movies from my childhood.
yes,
I was playing the
yes.
video game the other day on the
Were ya?
Switch. On the Switch.
Wait, it's on the
so-
Switch? Really?
Yeah, on the Switch. It has two of the games.
Okay.
The second game is the best game, and maybe one of my episodes in the top 5 Patreon episode I did this past week.
All right.
It
Is it
may
on
have
the is it on the online store? Is that
Yeah, it's just a free subscription when you're subscribed. When you got the Nintendo and Super Nintendo games,
okay?
you can
I
just
didn't
go
know
on
that
there.
because I got
Yeah.
that. I got the online stuff. So okay.
Yeah, it's fun game. I didn't beat it as a kid, but did when I.
Well, yeah, you got. I mean,
Yeah.
it was harder as a
Games
kid.
were hard, man. There's no
Dude,
save points.
I have tried to go back to play some like Super Mario Brothers, and I die early. I'm like, what the hell?
I played Super Mario Brothers 2, and couldn't beat the first world, and was so disappointed myself that I turned on Contra and beat the whole game without dying. So
Oh man, Contra. Whew,
I'm
that was
like, okay,
a good game.
I know
Great.
the games they're good at. I didn't have Super Mario World 2 growing up. But yeah,
Anyway.
Joe, tell the listeners where they can find you, your shows, plug the shit out of everything, please.
Sure can. Again, thank you for having me tonight. This was wonderful. It was a great talk, great conversation. You guys can find me on Twitter at underscore actually underscore. You can find my show, A Walk Through the Multiverse, on Twitter at Walk the Verse, part of this lovely network every other Saturday. You can find my other show, Comic Book Rundown, on Twitter at Comic Rundown and on Instagram at Comic Book Rundown. And that's all I got for now.
You can find Joe on Superhero Discussions this week as well, joining me to talk about the Green Goblin's first appearance. Joe's
And I
other
think I'll
shows
also-
are so much fun.
Yeah, I think I'll also be on Star Wars Alliance covering Clay.
My God, you just got.
I told you it was going to be a Gennaro takeover.
Yeah, well, I feel Clay put that message out later last week that felt like he might claw some of those back. He got a little nervous there for a second.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I may still be there, guys. Like, don't let's calm down for a second here. And you don't want you to go all Thanos on him, take the stones, and then just snap him from existence.
Maybe I do.
I'll come back.
I don't have the time.
Star
I
Wars,
don't have
yeah.
I don't have the time anymore. I'm
Look,
sorry.
Yeah, take Clay's podcast. That's not that's more a like burden than it is like he does so many. I don't even understand it, Clay.
I took a month off of Comic Rundown in January because I was overwhelmed. So the fact that he's been doing it for as long as he had, and he's got 4 now. Whew.
I don't know. I just don't know how you do it, my friend. I don't know. But the shows on this network are so much fun that I listen to at Clay's on. So he'll be back next week to talk about Peacemaker. We're not doing a DC Alliance preview for Superman and Lois for this episode this week. We'll be back next week to do 2. Thanks, listeners, for joining us. Like I said, Joe, thank you for joining us as well. We'll be back next week to talk more DC.